There are several basic actions, but the two simplest are move and attack. You can repeat actions as long as you can afford their AP cost. After you start performing an action, you cannot perform a new action until you have fully resolved the current one. Actions take into account a unit's stats, making some units more efficient than others in different ways. A move action costs 1 action point. Using the ruler to measure, move your unit up to the distance of its speed stat. You can measure from any point on the edge of a unit's base, roughly placing that same point at the end of the desired trajectory. You are not required to move the full distance and may stop short. Players can move the unit in increments to maneuver around obstacles, terrain or other units, and even curve the ruler. However, a unit can't move normally through spaces narrower than its base. Next, the attack action also costs 1 AP and may be divided into melee and ranged attacks. To make any type of attack, roll a 20-sided dice and add the unit's accuracy. Compare the result against the target's defense to see how much damage that attack will inflict. If the result equals or exceeds the defense stat, then the defender suffers a hit and is dealt full damage, represented by the bigger number on the attacker's power stat. If the attack value does not exceed the defense, then the defender suffers a graze and is dealt only partial damage, or the smaller number in the attacker's power stat. The two exceptions to that rule are the results of 1 and 20. On 20s, the attack is a critical hit, so add both numbers in the unit's base power together. On 1s, however, the attack result is a critical graze, which means that it deals only 1 damage regardless of any power modifiers that may be in effect. All units can make melee attacks. Nearby enemy units, within 1 inch, are considered engaged in melee combat, so a unit can perform a melee attack against any engaged enemy unit. Units with a range stat greater than 0 can also attack enemies within that many inches that are also within line of sight, or LOS. To check for line of sight, trace a line from the center of the attacker's base to any point on the target's base. If the line crosses a tall obstacle, a unit, or a husk, then line of sight is blocked, and a ranged attack cannot be made against that target. For your first game, your basic action should suffice for giving you a plethora of options for using your units. But let's explore advanced actions for your future Malediction matches.